Annunciationis classis Latina, capitulum sextum via Latina. Precatio incipiens. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Oh, I forgot to do something here. Hold on just a second. Uh, I was going to have it all set up. Forgot to do it. Shame on me. Since today is the feast of Saint Joseph, there are a ton of prayers to Saint Joseph on that web page, including the Little Office and the Litany. And well, actually, I think I have the Litany. Yeah, there it is, Litany, etc. So if you're motivated after class to look at it, might take a look at it. All right. Let's get started. I believe it was you, Jess, that had questions.
Yes, I have a few.
All right. Since this
Just
is,
going,
we're
go
going to
ahead.
do questions first. We're going to do it the other way around. Go ahead. Oh, you probably want me to bring up the, let's see, where is it? There we go. I'll zoom out a little. There. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so the first one is actually, it looks like line 11 going into 12. Actually, this one was, I kind of understand it, but it just seemed a little odd the way it was written. Maybe you could
Okay.
enlighten me a little bit. It says, via Latina non tam longa est quam via Appia. Then it says, quam longa est via Flaminia, neque ea tam longa est quam via Appia. And it just struck me as the subject of that first sentence was via Latina.
Right.
And then the second one is like, is that would be asking, is via Flaminia as long as via Latina or Latina? But it actually is talking
No, the
about Appia.
quam in here means how.
How? How long is it?
Yeah, it literally means how. And this is one of the fun things. Um,
Perplexing thing.
yeah, this is one of the fun things for English speakers. There are certain words that the Romans paid extra for, and
Okay.
so they do a lot of extra work. Quam is literally is an adverb, and I think I do have. Let's see, I should have a nice. Let me find it. Let's see here. Oh, actually, let me do this. QUAM. Whoops, there we go. Uh, yeah, I didn't include quam as the interrogative. Um,
Yeah, when you switch it to how long is via Flaminia, then it makes complete sense.
yeah, let me throw in a how in there. Whoops. When used, whoops, used as a question. Question. Sometimes my left and right hand do not speak to one another. Yeah, and you can think one way, well, I'm trying to think if this is a good idea. You can think of it as Via Latina, not as long as how long the Via Appia is. It's
Hmm.
kind of tortuous sentence in English, a little tortuous in Latin. But the quam can either mean the time, both are adverbs, okay? And Tom means so much as, or just as. So when we look at that sentence, we say as long. Quam is much as, or just as, or how. And English, in both cases, uses as X as Y. The Via Latina is as long as the Via Flaminia, or not as long, or whatever. But Latin uses this curious tam quam construction. And my advice is learn it because you'll see it a lot.
Sure.
So yes,
Mine,
quam longa est via Flaminia is how long is the Via Flaminia? And
sure.
technically, this isn't really how so much.
Okay.
Um, what they're asking is what is as long as the Via Flaminia?
But it makes more
And
sense
you
to
can
say
see the
how.
fact that we have a question mark there, which makes it a question. Um, and it's really this part of the of a sentence, and they've made it into a question. But in English, we got to make that a how.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I hope that
Um,
I hope that makes sense.
no, that is helpful. I was seeing the quam in the last one and kind of equating it to as, so like as long as via Appia or whatever. And then I was like, as long as via Flaminia? And I was comparing the Latina to the Flaminia, and that's where I was getting confused. But I see what you're saying completely, yeah. The second one I had is actually the next paragraph. So it talks about Chiricum opera miri sunt, and then Chiricum Romam est murus antiquus. And so I translate that as like around Rome is an ancient wall.
Right.
And then the next sentence says in muro Romano. And I was just wondering, the Romano there, are we saying in the wall of Rome or in a Roman wall? And then the next sentence after that, it's Porta Prima Romana. I'm just wondering about all these endings of the Rome. Are they
Okay.
meaning Rome?
We would say in the walls of Rome there are 12 gates. Um, what
Because I
this
wanted
is
to
literally
translate it as,
saying is in the Roman wall there are 12 gates. So we're talking about the wall that encircles Rome. All right. So in the Roman wall there are 12 gates. Am I making sense?
yes.
We wouldn't say it that way. Well, we might say it that way. We would say in the Roman walls. We'd probably use a plural there. But really, it's one wall or that's surrounded. Actually, there's a series of walls that surrounded the city as it expanded.
But they're
Uh,
they're treating it as one wall.
but they're treating it as one, which makes sense because here you can kind of see this. Here's the oppidum, the town, and circum oppidum around the exterior of the town is the murus, the wall, and
Hmm.
just about every city and really up through the medieval times had a wall for protection for lots of things. Bandits, thieves, wild animals, invading armies. Um, even when Rome had was under well, even when all of the Italian peninsula was under the control of Rome, there would be various rebellions from time to time. And the Roman army would march down there and besiege the town and usually show the inhabitants that it was not a good idea to revolt against them. Sometimes that took a longer time than others. But anyway, so in Muro Romano, in the Roman wall or the wall of Rome, duodecim porte sunt.
Yeah,
Porta.
that was, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say, what I was really struggling with this paragraph is when I'm reading it, is trying to figure out, is it trying to tell me that it's a Roman wall or the wall of Rome, because that both sounds okay in my head when I'm reading it, but when I think of like of Rome, I think genitive, and when I
Mhm.
think, so I'm just like I could
Yeah,
read it
well,
both ways, and I was never sure
you
how to
you
know
could
what it's
you could
supposed to
Michael,
do
mean.
can I
that.
inject something?
Sure, go ahead.
It seems like to me, because they do this a lot through this whole story, that when you have a proper name, then you don't use the genitive. So, for example, that very next sentence, porta prima Romana est porta capena. There's no genitive there at all because it's Roman gate and capena gate.
Right.
So when it's a proper name, you always use the nominative or the ablative, but you treat it as being in the nominative case, it
Right.
seems
As
like.
an adjective,
Yeah,
basically.
you never use the genitive when you're talking about a proper name like that. Is that right?
Um, you can you can say
You can
the
do it, you can construct it differently, but it seems like that's the that's the way this author likes to go throughout this
yeah,
whole
yeah,
whenever they
certainly,
say,
yeah, certainly through this chapter anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
when
Now
there's
there's something
proper name.
called the partitive genitive that we'll hear about later, but for now, really he's just using Romana, Romanus, Romana, Romanum, the adjective, using it as an adjective. So the first Roman gate is the Porta Capena, the Capena gate. Um, so there's really, well, the Capena gate may sound a little weird to English ears, but Roman wall, or sorry, Roman gate, the first Roman gate. Nothing really strange about that to English. Est porta capena. Now you would think you would probably use a genitive in English. No, you'd say the capena gate. Yeah. That-
Uh, Yeah, he uses this construction throughout this whole thing
yeah.
where he treats it. In English, we might have a capital P and a
Right.
capital P for
Yeah.
Porta Capena, but
Yeah.
they don't do it that way in Latin.
Right. That answer that question?
Yes.
Okay. Any more?
Yes. Hold on one second.
Yeah, this is good. That way I don't have to bother to teach so much. You guys just ask questions. Much easier. Unless I haven't thought about it, then I have a problem. I think Jess is still might still be driving. Are you still? I
No,
hope
I'm
you're not
not
still
there.
driving.
I'm not. It's also bedtime over here, so I'm just managing little ones.
Ah, yes, and I suspect you have very small Roman legion,
Yes, exactly.
or
Then
I should say small legionnaires. Excuse me. Well, it may be a
um,
small legion of small legionnaires.
we're getting there.
Anyway, go ahead.
Um, line 40 says Dominus servos malos baculo verberat. And it was the baculo, the ending of that was kind of throwing me
Ah,
off.
okay. This is known as the ablative of means or the ablative of instrument. I think I used, which one did I use? Let's see, I think I used
Well, you did use the ablative of means.
ablative. No, I'm just saying which one did I call it? Let's see here. Oh, ablative of instrument. I think I'll also put in also ablative of means. A couple different ways to that's called. In fact, one of these days, as we get through this, I will give you a sheet of everything the ablative have used for. The short answer is the ablative is often used to indicate the time, manner, place, and action the verb took place. Okay. So, Dominus servos malus baculo verberat. If I stuck a cum in there, in fact, I think I have, let's see here. Let's do this to illustrate what's going on here. Let's put it up here. See how well this copied. Oh, here, let's paste that, match the stuff. Whoa, what happened? Whoa. Oh boy. Um, Hold on. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. Why is this hopping? Servus malus. I could have probably typed this faster than if I had tried to paste it. All right. Let me put in a single word here. Boom. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, because now it's saying with the baculum.
Yeah, with the
So it'd be cum
rod.
baculo.
Yeah. Now, in Latin grammar, you don't need it. Okay. And in fact, whoops, I slipped. Let's see here. Font, strike through. Why does this keep hopping to the other? This is strange. Yeah. In fact, in proper Latin, you would a speaker who was well educated in the Latin language would never put a cum there, um, because it is redundant. Okay, you already have it in the ablative case with the cum, so just
Sure.
delete the cum. So Dominus servus malus baculo verberat. The cum is, you could say the cum is understood. Maybe that's a good way of thinking
Yeah,
about it.
that makes sense.
So,
And
So my
Michael, in
yep,
one of our, I can't remember where it was in my past notes from past years, the ablative I had written in for, with, and by.
yes,
And that helps a lot, or it helps me a lot to keep some of those things straight.
yeah,
Michael,
yep, yep.
uh, as long as you're on this subject, could you um, talk about the difference of when the uh, the means of instrument um, or agent, as the book calls it, uh, is a non-person, which is what you just did,
Yes,
versus when the agent is a person. So, like the Julius at Orso at Davo portatur, then Saci qui a Ciro at
right,
Leandro portantur
right.
magnus. So they have the as Ciro
Yeah. In
in
fact,
that line.
that's a good segue into that one. And if you have more questions, Jess, we'll get back to you in a second. But this is a good, let's see, I think it's up here. Let's see, where is it? Do lecticum serve? Oh, wait a minute. They got to go down farther because they do it.
I think
Maybe
it's like
62,
65 or something.
62,
Yeah, here it is.
and 65.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, and if you look at 62,
Copy. Now let's hope this copies well so I don't have to type it in. Okay, yeah. Why is it? Oh, okay, what's going on with this? Oh boy. Um, Here. I'm gonna do it now. Wow. Usually the PDF copies pretty well. Oh well. Um, all right. This is enough for me to remember what the sentence is. Julius, up urso et Davo portatur
You mean
taque. Oop. I said portatur, but then S snuck in. Itaque is Jesus non est. There we go. All right.
And then you have Sachi, qui asiro et Leandro portantur manu sunt. Oh, well, wait. I'm sorry. What was I trying to get? Oh, no, not that one.
And actually, tell you what, yeah, there we go.
Where's one where oh, I know it. Like Cornelius equo vehitur.
Ablative of persons. There we go. And I cannot spell ablative.
So on line 68, I think it is 68.
We got another one in good in 68, probably.
Yeah, if you look at 68, I think 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Five, 6, 7, 8. Cornelius. No, I don't think that's what we want. Itaquisius non tam fessus.
60, maybe 69.
Uh,
Nam
Yeah, Nami's equo vehitor.
equo vehitur. Yeah.
What's the next line after that?
oh,
Nam, it's all part of the
yeah,
same.
yeah. Okay. Whoops. I'm gonna get a lot of junk. All right, let's try this.
Yeah.
See what
Yeah,
happens.
this works out well because you're talking about faces in both of these.
Yeah. Okay. See what happens. Why does it jump? This is very strange. I don't know what's going on. Cornelius. Oh, I see. None of the macrons came out. That's why it's so weird. Non Jesus. And what was the second part? Non is equo vehitur.
Non es faces, nam is equo vehitur.
Let's try paste. Very strange. Oh. Yeah. Equo. Whoop. Equo. Okay.
Yep. Got it.
Actually, I'm not gonna underline that. I'm gonna bold it. And then I'm gonna bold it. There we go. Now, there are about 30 ways of using the ablative, okay? As I said, it's used to describe how, what, when, where, with what. Teresa, what did you have? You had with, by,
For, with, in, by.
and by. Yeah, that gives you a flavor for that. This is a
This by covers agent as well as names.
Yeah, and I should say item. Item means is non-person. Yeah, that's what I want to say. This is sometimes called the ablative of persons or the ablative of agent. And here we are referring to actual persons. So what we have here instead is we actually have the op in there. Julius op urso, whoops, that better be a Davo. There we go. Portatur. So if it is a person, or persons, then you need the op or and I'll come to where the is used in a minute. So and op mean the same thing, but let's not go. Let's put that aside for the moment. You must put the op and then the orso and the person in the ablative. You can also do this, and there's probably a better. And you could make that an ob. Now, if there is a vowel, then you have to use the op. And you may actually even see an S in there. I don't think he uses the S in this chapter. I don't think does he use it at all? Nope.
I don't think so.
You'll run into it later. I'll leave it off for now.
You mean a vowel in the word?
Yeah. Yeah. You must have a consonant here before the vowel for the person. If they put davo et urso, you could say adavo et urso. And they actually do that. Where do they do that? Oh, here it is. Next one. Whoops. Let's see if I can copy this. Maybe. Whoop. There we go. Whoop. All right. Where was it? Man, why it's jumping all over the place. Edit, paste and match style, and it jumps back for reasons I don't. Oh boy. Servo malo tomatur. Servo malo. Oh, that's why.
Now there's on
No,
line.
no. I'm commenting on why I'm not picking up macrons. And let me switch something up here. Oh, no, it is the extended keyboard. And then Dominus. Okay. Dominus, servo. The master is feared by bad servants. So this is a person or agent. Okay, a bacalo is an inanimate object. An equo or equus is a horse. It's not a person. So Dominus a servo malo timetur. So when we have a person and it's the ablative of persons or agent, then you have to use the a or the ops. As I said, it's an a before a consonant, and it is an op if it is before a vowel.
Oh,
an in English.
Pardon?
Like using a or an in English.
Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah, good example.
Another example is line 83, where it says, "Sid id quo medus cantat ad Lydia non auditur." Sed id quod medus cantat ad Lydia non auditur. 83.
Oh, there.
A little lower. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Yes. But what?
Well, the is before a consonant.
Right. Right. But that which Metis sings to Lydia
Is
is
not
not
heard.
heard.
Yeah. Well, I think it's not heard by Lydia,
Sorry, it is not heard by Lydia. You're right. Sorry.
not to Lydia.
No. Oh, that's interesting.
That which Metis sings is not heard by Lydia.
It could also things that which Metis sings to Lydia is not heard. Hmm.
Well, if it was to Lydia, would it be in the um
Oh, it'd be dative. Never
it'd
mind.
be in the
You're right.
accusing, wouldn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it'd be no sung to Lydia would be dative.
Okay.
Dative is the two. We haven't had it yet.
Okay.
I believe it's the next one, next chapter.
Anyway, I interpreted it to mean by Lydia.
You're right. It's by Lydia. It should be by Lydia. And the tip off is the passive voice verb.
Yeah.
This is the person passive voice verb structure is very, very, very common in Latin. So
Lydia is doing the action, right? And the action is not hearing.
okay, yes, I suppose yes. That kind of hurts my brain a little to think of it that way, but yeah, that's right.
Well, it's all in this passive voice thing, and that sentence was going to be one of my questions because the way it's written is kind of confusing. The other ones are more straightforward with the passive voice, but because when we're talking about the servants carrying and whatever, it's always like by this person, it's carried by this person and this person,
Right.
and then the Lydia non auditor is like, yeah, Lydia's doing the not here. It's confusing, but I wasn't sure if I was reading it correctly.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, she's doing the non-hit. Well, let's see what well, it's the song that is not heard by Lydia.
Might be
Sed
just as well
quam
if he doesn't
medus
sing well.
cantat. That's really the subject. That which Medus sings, or it, meaning the song, which Medus sings, is not heard by Lydia.
It translates better to say
Sure.
that. Then
Yeah.
that's
Okay. Got more questions?
I do.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Line 74, those two sentences, it starts with or the one that I'm curious about starts with iam. So it says iam muris Romani ab eo videntur et porta capena. And then the next sentence, is quia via Latina venit per portam capenam Romam intrat. So both of those sentences were just really hard for me to understand what was being said there.
Okay.
it's the Latina way.
Yeah. Okay, and it's in ablative. All right. Well, let's start with the first one that I have highlighted. Iam just means now, already, presently. It refers to the present moment in time. The Muri Romani, the Roman walls, are seen. Well, actually, oh boy,
The Roman
Roman walls
and
and the Capena Gate
yeah,
are being seen by him now. So a little more fluid English. Medus is near Rome. Already, the Roman walls and the Porta Capena are being seen by him.
Okay. Yep, I got that.
Okay.
And then the next one.
Now the next one. Is qui ViaLatina venit. Let's just per portam capenam Romam intrat. Is qui via Latina venit.
He who comes by the
He
Latin
who
way,
comes from the Via Latina.
or by the Latin way.
This is really from, because this is the ablative of from. Well, okay, I'm sorry. No, you could
You could say by the
yeah,
Latin
you
way.
could say via, if you'll pardon the expression, via via. Yeah, yeah, who comes by the Via Latina and enters through the Carpena gate, the Roman Carpena gate, or I should say,
No,
excuse me,
enters Rome
enters
through,
Rome
through the
through
Capanian gate.
through the Porta Carpena. It's much
Capanian,
easier. Yeah, through the Porta
Capanian
Carpena.
gate.
Carpanium gate. There we go. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So yeah, to unmap it or to untangle it a bit. He who comes, he
By the
who,
Latin way.
yeah, he who comes via the Latin way and enters Rome through the Carpanian gate.
Not and enters, but just enters.
Well, yeah, I'm being a little yeah, I guess the and ruins it, doesn't it?
It just enters Rome through
The
the Capanian
Carpanian
gate.
gate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Those two are challenging for me.
Yeah.
Just trying to untangle all of those endings. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
Any more?
That was the last one.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? By all means, ask. Not entirely sure what that's supposed to mean. Porta, that's gate. Per portum, through. Oh, I see. Through per portum is through the gate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have per Christum Dominum Nostrum, through Christ our Lord. So I guess the per portum shouldn't be that strange to us. All right, let's see. Where did we leave off? We made it through. Did we make it through Cornelius?
I, I don't I think I don't think we got to the singing business.
Yeah, I know we didn't get to the singing. Uh,
Maybe it was Julius Prope Villam Suam Est.
I think this is how far we got.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start here. All right. Anybody want to take this rather long paragraph? I'm sorry to say.
I
Was that you, Teresa, volunteering?
yes, that was me volunteering.
Okay. Go for it.
I mean, enlarge this a little bit.
Oh, here, I can zoom it up.
Okay,
There. How's that?
that's better. Okay. Jam Iulus prope villam suam est. Servi qui electicam portant feci sunt. Did you have something you want to say?
Nope.
Okay, I thought I heard something. Okay. Dominus autem fessus non est, nam is non ambulat. Julius ab urso et davo portator, itaque is fessus non est. Feci sunt Cyrus et Leander, nam e duos manos sacos humeris humeris portat, neque vacui sunt saci. Saci qui Asiro et Leandro portantur manius sunt, sed sacus quem Cyrus portat non tam manius est quam sacus qui Aleandro portantur.
Okay,
Itaque,
hold on just a second.
okay.
So we can go back to here. Cyrus Leandor Davus Ursus. Davus et Ursus portant Iulium in lectica. Cyrus Leandor. Sacus Leandri mania est. Sacus Syri, well, I shouldn't say small.
Well, this is
I
where
was
you
going to
get
say parvus, but that was, yeah, that's too.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not a small sack. But
non-tom
anyway, his is bigger than
non
poor
non-tom
Cyrus.
sacus cirrus non-tom longa est leander sacus
Not longa,
leandri
Mania.
Mani.
Mania.
magni sacus leandri. Yeah.
All right, where did we? There we go. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so Cyrus, Sacus quem Cyrus portat non tam manius est, quam Sacus quia Leandro portatur.
Yeah.
By the way,
Leandro.
the Tom, whatever this is, quam the noun, or they have to match, since this adjective maps back to that noun, they have to be the same gender, number, and case.
So they use this non-tom construction for long, for large, and for tired.
Yeah, for comparisons, yeah.
For comparisons.
They're,
Now,
they're really making a lot of use of it in this story.
yes, and I should emphasize these are for comparisons. We have something called the comparative and superlative, which we haven't had yet. So let's see.
So this would be comparing two different items, whereas the comparative and superlative are just general observations.
Yes. Yeah, like
Okay.
big, bigger, biggest. Manus, I can't think of what bigger is. Manus
Yeah,
Major.
that's not one that's
Manus Major Maximus. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's irregular. So
Itaque.
yeah, and so yep. Press on here.
Itaque Cyrus non tam fessus est quam Leander. Cornelius non est fessus, nam is equo vehitur. Julius lectica vehitur. Servi ambulat. Domini vehun. I'm trying to get the vowels right. Vehuntur.
There we go.
Medus ambulat nam is servus est neque equum habet.
Good. Notice ablative of means or instrument. Julius vehitur lectica. Vehitur is kind of an all-purpose word, like conveyed, carried.
Passive voice.
Yeah, it's passive voice here. But it involves more motion. Typically, if you'll notice, they generally talk about the sacs, sacus, and they will use portat, portant, portatur, whatever. Whereas if it's transportation, then they usually use the vehitur.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, transportation.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
helps because they use equo,
Yeah.
equo vehitur as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Domini vehuntur. The masters are being carried. Got to be a better transported. Maybe transported is a better word there. Medus ambulat. Nam is servus est neque equum habet. So medus, the masters are being carried, and Matus, well, has to walk because maybe he should have thought ahead of time and stolen a horse. Well, all right. Oh, wow, we have another long one.
So before you do that, so you would say Eulus is carried by means of Electica
I think I would use
or
transported
transported by means of Electica
or in the lectica. Uh,
or in the
no, I take that back. I would say by means of the lectica. Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, if I were being literal, I'd say by means of. If I were being a little less literal, then I would say in. Really, what's implied here is like with or by.
Well, they're using two sentences in a row where they use the equo vehitur
Yeah,
and lectica vehitur. So
right.
it seems like they do that on purpose.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. 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 Cornelius is not tired, for he is being transported on horse. Julius is being transported in a, let's see, what did we decide to call that? A litter.
Well,
No, not a litter.
litter. Yeah. And they have that short sentence, Domini vehuntur.
Yeah. Yes. The masters are being transported or carried. Yeah. If you look up, it's Veho is the
I mean,
actually.
that's a kind of a general sentence, right? Like servi ambulant,
Yeah.
servants walk, masters are carried,
Right.
are transported.
Right. Yes.
They like to do that every so often. That this is a rule
Well, I think,
or a statement of fact or
well,
something.
it probably is a statement of fact at this time in Rome, is that the masters would be carried, the masters and domini et dominae, meaning the masters and the mistresses. Um,
But since there's only one master here, this is a general statement about all masters, I guess.
well, no, don't forget Cornelius. Cornelius. We have two here. We have
Oh, that's right.
Julius et
Okay. Yep,
Cornelius.
yep, got it.
Yeah, so that's why they use the plural there.
Yeah.
So
Julius and Cornelius.
yeah. And we'll find out more about Julius. All right. Who wants to take any more questions before we go on to the next section?
We need somebody who hadn't talked.
I can read.
Okay.
Um,
Can you see it?
Julius propre vilam suam est, medus autem, qui dominum iratum timet. Is that a long I? Timet?
Timet, short.
Timet. Procul villa Julii abest. Dominus a servo malo timetur.
Timetur.
Timetur. Medus prope Romanum est. Iam muri Romani ab eo videntur et porta capena. Ist qui via Latina venit per portam capenum Roman intrat. Cur Roman it medus, Romam it quia Lydia Rome habitat, nam Lydia amica eius est. Medus Lydiam amat est et ab ea amatur. Medus Romanum vocatur ab amica sua, quae femina est pulchra et proba. Itque is festus non est et latus cantat. I'm having trouble with those numbers. I keep wanting to read the numbers as part of the sentence.
Yeah. Okay. Now, there's a lot of good stuff here. Prope, vilam suum
Pro
est,
cool.
means near. Pro, propinquity. I don't know. What's a good, do we have a good English word from
That's pretty
prope?
good.
Yeah, propinquity. That's like $1.50 word. I was hoping for something that's only like 25 cents. Anyway, medus autem, qui dominum iratum timet. Medus, however, who fears angry masters, procul avila Julii apest, is far from the the villa of Julius's villa.
Or you could say is away, far.
It's far away, yeah.
Yeah.
Dominus acervo malo timetur. The master is feared by the bad servant. Notice they're kind of giving you the sentence in the active and then they switch to the passive voice. Medus prope Romam est, iam muri Romani ab eo videntur et porta capena. So if you remember, untangle it. Now, the walls of Rome and the Porta Capena are seen by him, are being seen by him, present tense.
Because he's getting close to Rome.
He's getting close to Rome. Cur Romam it medus. All right, what does that mean?
Why does Medus go to Rome
Right,
or travel to Rome?
right. Notice the Romam here is in the accusative. It is a proper name, and so why is he going to Rome? There's like an odd in there. Let's see now. Where did I put this? I know I put it in here. Prepositions. Yeah, here it is. Ablativus, accusativus, et locativus. For towns and names and places, there are three special uses of the ablative, the accusative, and locative. Ablative, ablativus, motion from a town is expressed in the ablative without the use of the usual preposition. So you don't say op tusculo, but you just say Julius tusculo ad vilam suum venit. Julius comes from the town of Tusculum to his villa. The accusative, which is what we just had, motion towards a town is expressed in the accusative without the use of the usual preposition. This is the same thing as the ablative of means. You don't need to say cum baculo, you just say baculo. So you don't say ad Tusculum, but rather Cornelius Tusculum venit. Cornelius comes to Tusculum. And you can mix both. You can say Cornelius Roma Tusculum in equo suo it. So Cornelius is coming from Rome to Tusculum on a horse, on his horse.
It, it, uh, Michael, is this limited to just towns, or can it be other than towns? Like a
It has to be
country?
a named place.
Okay. Well, I mean, what about Italia,
Hmm. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm just curious.
I'll have to try and remember to look that up. I'm thinking that it's usually of limited geographical, okay, town is pretty clear, but it could be like a temple or or it would have to be named. I don't recall ever seeing it for a whole country, though. I'll look that up, see if I can look that up. So anyway, where were we? So Romam it. He goes to Rome. Quia Lydia Rome habitat. Nam Lydia amica eius est.
Guess
So,
you could say sweetheart here.
yeah, I would definitely. Now, okay, amicus means friend. Amicus, masculine friend. Amica,
So
female
we
friend.
talked about this last week. Here, the relationship is different than what they were talking about earlier when they were talking about amicus, talking about children or something like that,
Yeah. So
but just a friend.
the tip off is medus Lydiam amat et
Yeah,
ap ea amatur.
yeah.
So this is not a yeah, you might have a colleague at work that you would call your friend.
A platonic friendship.
Platonic, very, very casual friendship, say. This is not that casual. And when you consider the fact that he is an escaped slave headed to Rome, which in those days was not a great thing. If he was caught, he would be severely punished, even put to death for that matter. So he risked a lot by doing that. And he also stole the master's coinage, you know. So it's pretty clear that that he is very much uh, in love with Lydia to risk all that. He wouldn't do that for a casual friend. But amicus and amica can mean casual friend all the way up to a more intimate relationship. But that sentence right there tips you off that you'd go back and cross out friend and say sweetheart. Let's see. Medos Romam vocatur ap amica sua. Well, now, what does that mean? Let's take the first part.
She's calling him, and
Yes,
she's a good and
Medus is
beautiful
called
woman.
to Rome by his
Sweetheart.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Now, you don't know if she wrote him like a note or
Carrier pigeon.
or carrier pigeon, wax tablet, or rather, it's more what's the word I want? Shoot, metaphorical, or metaphor isn't the right word, meaning his girlfriend is Rome and he feels called to go to Rome.
There's a longing.
Longing, yeah.
The song of love.
Yes, yes. But hey, que femina est pulchra et proba. So
It's
we
hard to
know
say.
that Lydia is a woman who's beautiful and very upright,
No, not improba.
not non improba ea,
Not like Medus. Yes.
not like Medus. Yeah, yeah,
Opposites attract sometimes.
yeah. So, but
Yeah.
actually, Wolf.
She likes the bad boys, obviously.
Well, actually, since you guys haven't read ahead like I do, there's more to this that you'll find out.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything away. I want to motivate you to continue to read this story. But anyway,
Hey, I've got a question.
yes.
When the narrator talks this whole thing, because I haven't heard him, does he actually sing "Non via longa et Roma"?
If you go to the to the YouTube video,
Uh-huh.
the Italian gentleman sings it.
Does he really? Okay.
Yes, he does. It kind of
Does,
in a sing-song fashion.
does he have a passable voice?
Yeah, he does actually. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not going. It was something like let's see if I can attempt to mimic it. Non via no, that's not right. Non via longa est Romam ubi amica habitat mea pulch. No, I can't do it as well as he did. Go listen to the video. So, oh, yeah, actually, we ended up there. Sed id quod medos cantata Lydia non auditur. So, but that which, meaning the song, that Medus sings is not heard by Lydia.
He may not have been Bocelli, but good
No,
anyway.
or let's see, who was the famous one from Medina who died, I don't know, 10 years ago.
No,
Pavarotti. There we go.
Pavarotti, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other one. No, I don't think either of the, well, Pavarotti's dead, of course, but the other, what is it? Botticelli? No, that's
Andrea Bocelli sang at the
Botticelli. Yeah.
Olympics.
Oh yeah,
At
he's still
Tokyo.
around. He
Yeah.
has nothing to worry about from this guy. Okay. Next paragraph.
How do you interpret the word imperat here?
Lydia orders or commands. We would find that in English to be a bit, I don't know, abrupt or rude, maybe. But no, imperat means to command, to order, to bid. Yeah, we'll use the word bid. Lydia bids. How's that?
Yeah, that
Doesn't
sounds
sound
more
quite so
harsh.
harsh. Yeah. Intra. I'll tell you what, I'll read the last part. Iam Julius in villa est, et ap Aemilia liberisque laetus salutatur. Sorry, salutatur. Put the U in the wrong place. Cornelius Tusculi est, medus autem Rome, et est ante ostium Lydiae, medis ostium pulsat. Lydia imperat intra. Medus per ostium intrat, et amicum suum salutat. Salve me Lydia, ecce amicus tuis qui solus Romam ad te venit. So, a couple things. Okay. Now Julius is in his villa and is greeted by Amelia and his happy children.
Happy.
Cornelius is in Tusculi, and notice that is the locative form.
Mm-hmm.
It's the genitive form, and so that is actually locative. Medus autem Rome, medus, however, is in Rome. That's also
And
locative.
that's also locative.
Yeah, est ante ostium Lydiae, and is in front of Lydia's door. Medus ostium pulsat. So pulsat mean hit, strike, knock. They're all the same to the Romans. Lydia imperat, Lydia bids, enter. Medus per ostium intrat, Medus enters through the door, et amicum suam salutat, and greets his girlfriend, salve mea Lydia. Ecce amicus tuus qui solus Romam ad te venit. Anybody want to give that a try?
I want to say behold here. Because he's a rather proud guy.
Okay. Yeah. We in English, or rather in the liturgy, ecce is usually behold. Okay. Ecce agnus Dei, behold the Lamb of God. It's a general word in Latin that means, hey, look. Behold is sometimes a bit over the top in this case. And
I wouldn't put it past Medus.
yeah, well, I would, yeah, that's true. Uh let's see what we might translate that as voila. Let's see. Let's see what another good or maybe yo. How about yo? There's a couple of different words you can use here, depending upon how kind you are to Medus or not. But anyway, amicus tuus, qui solus Romam ad te venit. Let's forget about the ecce for a moment. Anybody want to take that?
Hey, look, your boyfriend who's alone came to Rome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, yeah, amicus tuus, your boyfriend, who is alone. There is an est implied in there. Uh, comes uh
To Rome,
to Rome
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those where the odd is not there before Rome.
Yeah, because that's motion towards, and we use the accusative, and we
Mhm.
don't say ad Romam. If you did, you'd probably be shunned in polite society.
You'd
Uh,
violate one of Michael's rules.
well, keep in mind that there were levels of, shall we say, well, just like English. You can go out to any store or Walmart, or not picking on Walmart in particular, but out to the great unwashed masses, and you will hear English kind of mangled in many places. Um, and in fact, one thing you see in the later periods uh, is does anybody excuse me, know who Egeria is?
Can you spell it?
Oh boy, Egeria is one way to spell it.
Familiar, but I can't place it.
Okay, Egeria is a nun. Sorry, was a nun from Spain in I believe it was late fourth century, if I remember correctly, more or less. Um, and she went on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem and the various holy sites. Actually, let me check the year. Let's see here, just for the heck of it. Egeria. There we go. There's a couple different, yeah, Theria, yeah, around 381, 384. Yeah. And she kept a journal. And she also, that journal was, she was writing as if she was writing to her fellow nuns back in Spain. Let me see, what part of Spain was this? Uh, doesn't say. Anyway, the neat thing about it is it gives a very interesting look of the Holy Land from the viewpoint of somebody who was essentially a commoner. Granted, she was a nun, but she wasn't, like the emperor's niece or anything like that. And she wrote a travel log, if you wish. And why did I get onto that? I've forgotten now. Um, oh, I remember now. And what is interesting is her Latin is not the Latin of the Caesars and Cicero, but was rather a bit rough. And so she might say ad Romam and op Tusculo, as opposed to just saying Tusculo and Romam. One of the things that distinguishes some of the later Latin of the lower classes is they begin to use lots of prepositions, whereas more classically oriented Latin and even ecclesiastical Latin would just leave those prepositions out. So anyway, yeah, the Tenarium excuse me, Ageriae. Excuse me. An itinerarium is a journey or itinerary. Itinerary might be a good synonym there. So yeah, if you say ad Romam, you won't get invited to Julius Caesar's home. So just keep that in mind.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Before we go on, that sentence kind of confused me for a while because I'm my I believe this is the first time venit is used when describing traveling to a location. Like all the way up until now, it was always just it, like ad vilem it. And whenever it was venit, it was always like, where are you traveling from? Or where is this going from? Like from a location. But in this sense, it's saying he traveled alone to Rome to her. Then it just seems like I would have all the way up until now it would have made more sense. I feel like if it ended with it instead of venit.
Well, okay.
Venit was like from in like every other example.
Well, I'm not entirely sure that it was all from, but he comes to Rome and to you. We would say that. I come to Rome. I come to church. Doesn't have to be from church. It can always be, it can be to. And now you're going to ask me, all right, let's do this. Let's look for
Like
the,
unde venit Cornelius. You're right.
uh,
It's often used from.
let's see here. All right, let me see here. Okay, it's venitne does Julius, yeah, from whence up opido. You may be right that it is the first time.
Mhm.
Let's see here. All right.
Especially in that sense there, he's contrasting it with it, where venit is always travel from and it is always travel to, so that just really threw me off.
Ah, actually, it's not. Unde venit Cornelius. Oh no,
That's
sorry.
from where.
He's still from Rome. Never mind. I thought I had a good counter example. Uh,
But where were you before?
oh, I'm gonna have to cycle through. Actually, hold on. Maybe I can go backwards. Oh, there we go. I think that was the one. You want me to go back farther?
No, I was just trying to see.
See, Tuscolo venit, Roma venit comes from Rome. And then comes in East Via, oh, that's comes by the Via Latina.
Well, yeah, is qui via Latina venit per portam carpenum. So
Yeah, I guess that one. Yeah, that one he really doesn't. That's well, that's comes to Rome.
yeah,
Venit Roma. Yeah, there
it's
it is.
taking the
Yeah,
accusative.
it's taking the yeah. So there is a case before then. It's kind of buried in there because you've got all the other words. But yeah, there is one. But yes, you're right. Oh, now I got to go all the way down.
You
Whoops. Oh, how far did I go? What did I do? Oh, here we go. Oh, there's your sentence. Yeah, you can either come from or come to a place.
that's a good observation.
But yeah, I think this is other than that one, which is kind of buried in there, this one is clearly he comes to Rome and to his girlfriend. All right, it is about time to see, did Robert ever make it? Oh, no. All right, it's about time to wind things up here. Wind things up. Hmm. Um, next time. Oh, we didn't do the last part.
Yeah,
Let's do the last part.
yeah.
I forgot about that. Lydia verbis medi delectatur eamque salutat. O amice, salve. ubi est dominus tuus, medus. Julius in villa est, apud servos suos, nequa is iam meus dominus est. Verba medi a Lydia leta audiuntur. So the words of Medus are being heard by a happy Lydia.
Or
Again,
happily by Lydia.
what?
Well, I was thinking happily by.
That is actually the adjective that goes with Lydia.
Okay.
It happily would be lete, ending in E.
Okay.
We haven't had how to take an adjective and make it an adverb yet.
It just sounds kind of odd.
But yeah, you're right. It does sound odd. And if I were being a little less strict about a translation, yes, I would say happy or happily or joyously or something like that.
There's that neque is iam meus dominus est.
Yes. And he is no longer my master. There's actually apud as in with. Apud, why do they not use cum servis suis? And apud, well, I think I'll save that for next time. Yeah, it's what it means is with as in nearby or boy, let's see, what's a good way to explain this? It's a
Well, as opposed to right next to his servants.
yeah, well, maybe accompanied would be the right
Yeah,
word.
accompanied by.
We'll talk. Let's see. Do they have a nice? I don't think they have any hints. Actually, when did you get put? I'll have to look. Well,
I think
I'll come up-
accompanied sounds like a good translation there.
yeah. So anyway, let's finish up. Okay, for next time, we will grind through the Grammatica Latina. So read through that. You don't have to do the pensa yet. What we will probably do is I will probably take the Grammatica Latina and we will do one of the colloquia or the fabella. So let's see here. Let's find, is this the one? Maybe it's the other one. Hold on. There's a good one here. Well, actually, both of these are good for different reasons. We'll do the colloquia and one of the fabella. The colloquium is kind of interesting because this is largely about the journey that Ursus, Davus, Leander, and Cyrus and Julius are making, because as you would imagine, those guys are pooped carrying stuff around. And so anyway, but Julius at least has a certain amount of compassion on them. He gets them to trade carrying various heavy things. And oh, I forgot about this one. Colloquium Septimum. Yeah, I believe we'll also do this one. I don't think there's anything in this one that you haven't had. The nice thing about this is Gossip Central. There's all kinds of interesting things on that one.
We're introduced to Doripa.
Yeah, Doripa. Yes. Yeah, and it's Doripa. So it's a short I. So and we'll find out Doripa, que amica Lydiae est. Doripa is a friend of Lydia. So anyway, we'll go through the colloquia and maybe if we have time, the fabella. Let's see. Yeah, we'll try and go through that. I will try and make copies of these and send them out before next class, since that'll make life easier and you can kind of look through them. Yeah, I will put that on my to-do list.
What are you sending out to the next class? The
Uh,
colloquium?
the colloquia and the fabella.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the colloquia are well, they were both written by Orberg. Um, they add, for lack of a better term, background material to the Familia Romana. And he generated these to give students extra practice for in a particular chapter. I mean, this chapter is pretty tough. So we're going to spend a little extra time on it. And other than, repeating the grammar over and over again, which gets boring after a while, we'll try and instill the grammar, sorry, by reading more stuff. And this one is not that hard. I don't think there's anything. Oh, okay, there's a delectatur. Okay. So anyway, there's a few passive voice verbs in there. This one has a lot, and this is the fabele. So I will. Oh, by the way, yes, Lydia est femina pulchra quae Rome habitat, est ne femina Romana, non Romana est, sed Greca. Lydia autem, she's Greek. And you will find that Marcus or Medus is also Greek. I think it's in here someplace. Oh, here we go. Multus etiam. Etiam amicum habet Lydia, neque is Romanus est. So Lydia also has a friend who is neither is Roman, but Greek. Sed proprie oppidum Tusculum, yes. So we know who lives near Tusculum, and that's Medus. So we'll get some more background stuff in there and more practice for this particular chapter. And I will send those out with any kind of luck this weekend. Any questions? Questions going once? Questions going twice?
Are we meeting next Thursday?
Oh, good grief. Let me look. Oh, yeah, no, the 26th is okay. It is the Thursday after that, which is Holy Thursday. So yes, next week we will meet. The following week is Holy Thursday, and hopefully we can all meet at Annunciation for the Mass of the Last Supper. I may or may not be able to make it. Supposedly the launch is on the 1st of April. We'll see what my involvement is. And
So they fixed all the problems?
that they know of. So yeah, it's in fact they started to roll it out to the pad. Everything has been fixed. All issues have been fixed. Known issues have been fixed or addressed. And so we have a pretty good chance of getting it off in the month of April. The launch windows, let's see. Oh boy. There it is. Let's see. I have to look at this. Okay, month. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, there is a launch window on Wednesday. Well, actually, we're not, the 1st. That's at about 5:30. Oh, that's right. can't read a calendar. The 2nd is Holy Thursday. Oh, I'm not going to be able to make that mass probably. But there's a series of sliding launch windows. Wednesday, it's 5:30. Thursday, it's 6:30. Friday is at 7. Saturdays at 7 or is it 8, and then Sunday is 8:40, and then the Monday is at 9:30. So we have let's see, we have like 6 days in a row where theoretically we can launch. So as long as nothing really bizarre happens or requires a rollback, we might actually not be able to launch on the 1st because of wind. The winds are expected to be a little high, so we'll see. In any case, that's the Easter Triduum, and we're not going to hold class anyway. Hopefully I can make some of the liturgies. Okay, so let's wrap up. Precatio finalis. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. And so that is the official end of the class. I'll stick around for a few minutes for last minute questions.